we discovered some cool technology that could be applied to the space program. During that time and process, we were introduced to a novel organism that survived being put outside of the space station for 18 months. You would think, how is that even related to longevity? How is that related to skincare? If it could survive space, all the radiation, the frozen temperatures, everything out there must be some type of mechanism that protects it that we could possibly use to protect ourselves. And that's what we did. We took the organism, we did some research on it for longevity. It worked.
Dr. Kyle Landry is the president and co-founder of Delavie Sciences, where he leads research and development of innovative ingredients and products. He has earned his doctorate in food science from the University of Massachusetts Amherst and later conducted longevity research at Harvard Medical School, discovering patented enzymes for medical applications that perhaps could turn back time for your skin. Could this space technology, certified by the Space Foundation, be the most notable advancement in skincare? Let's find out. Welcome to Toxic-Free with KB, Dr. Kyle Landry. Welcome to Toxic-Free with KB, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of what it means to live a toxic-free life. I'm your host, KB. I'm a toxic-free lifestyle advisor and a diehard advocate for clean living. Kyle, welcome to Toxic-Free with KB. Pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Came all the way from Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes, I did.
Love it. We were just talking about how the weather is so extremely cold there. And here I'm still like shaking in my boots. It's like
60.
Yeah, I know. He like laughs at me. I'm like, come on. I'm like, but it's cold. Give me a break. But Kyle, I really have a burning question for you because we have you on here for, well, I selfishly have you on here for specific reasons. But one of the pillars of Toxic-Free with KB is personal care.
Yeah.
And cleaning up our lives through that. And I am a fiend when it comes to skincare. But we live in this world where it's like pretty daunting when it comes to skincare. And it's a black hole of information. But Kyle, I have a question. What is the one innovation that could transform how we age in regards to skincare?
So selfishly, I would say, innovative ingredients that we make, for example, in our longevity group, are one thing that you could do. But outside of that, before diving into that holistically, it's the simple things that really impact your skin. It could be everything from hydration all the way to just better sleep. But the quality of the products you put on your face, the ingredients you put on your face, all build upon the foundation of a general lifestyle that is, very health focused. So the Delavie Science line, we have a patented ingredient that we created specifically to target longevity markers in the skin. A lot of skincare products, they fill or mask or hide. They don't really try to tackle the key indications of aging. Where here, we try to actually address the issues instead of cover them up.
I love that.
Yeah.
But okay, so I know a little bit about your story, but to kind of like fill everyone in, you didn't start out in skincare. You were just saying like, I never thought I would be in skincare.
Is that how I sound?
No.
I was going to say.
I never thought I would be in skincare.
I don't know if I sound like that either.
But kind of your background, I want to fill people in because I think it's fascinating. And it is another pillar of our toxic-free movement that I carry on, which is food.
Yeah.
And you are actually a food science engineer? Can I say engineer?
A food scientist. Yeah, so that's what I started out with. I went to school for that, traditionally trained in that, in food science, food chemistry, and my bachelor's, master's, PhD. It was only when I ended up being recruited to a longevity lab where I actually started connecting longevity with food and also things that could activate pathways in your body linked to longevity. So I never thought I'd be in cosmetics. I never thought I'd be in longevity. I thought I'd be, making Pop-Tarts somewhere or making, but you know what I mean? Some type of,
you got you.
Some type of, food or something. And I ended up stumbling upon so many cool innovations, meeting so many cool people. And the things we discovered we thought and we know can really impact people, have a positive impact. So I decided to jump into this world of cosmetics and skincare and personal health. And that's where I am now.
Okay, well, you lost me at the Pop-Tart thing because now I'm curious. So are you saying Pop-Tarts are made from like a lab?
They're not made from labs, but
I had to go tangent.
I will say I enjoy Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
There are a few.
What's your favorite kind?
Cherry.
Cherry.
And it's not even real cherry flavor. It's like the fake cherry flavor. I don't know. It must be something from childhood, but there's just something about a cherry Pop-Tart that I have to have. And I don't have it all the time, but if I'm running out the door, I'm like, you know what? It's a Pop-Tart morning.
Okay, I'll let you have it. But I think it's fascinating that you went from food science to, skincare, because it does kind of correlate, because it both kind of, take away the Pop-Tarts, but it both kind of nourishes your body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Skincare, what you put on your body goes in your body, goes into your organs, feeds your cells in a way, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
No, you're right on target. Yeah.
So throughout the skincare, though, you had kind of a crazy path to get there.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy path.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So when I first started out, I was working in a longevity lab, and we discovered some cool technology that could be applied to the space program, and specifically cleaning the water systems on the International Space Station. And most people don't realize or think about water systems in closed environments. But when they're packed in there, a lot of bacteria can grow, a lot of biofilms grow, and there's no real way to clean it, right? You can't like take apart the spacecraft in orbit and really disinfect everything. So we create technology that, NASA could test and try to clean the space station, disinfect the Mars rover, a whole bunch of different things. And during that time and process, we were introduced to a novel organism that survived being put outside of the space station for 18 months. And you would think, how is that even related to longevity? How is that related to skincare? Like, how would that academic kind of far out there project correlate with skincare? Well, what happened was we brought it into the lab and we were like, if it could survive space, all the radiation, the frozen temperatures, everything out there, there must be some type of mechanism that protects it, protects its DNA, protects its biological functions that we could possibly use to protect ourselves. And that's what we did. We took the organism, we did some research on it for longevity. We looked at sirtuins, we looked at antioxidant potential, we looked at hyaluronic acid, all these different things, and it worked. And we were like, you know what? The implications, the results were so profound, so impactful. Let's bring it to the masses and put it into a product to try. And that's what we did. We launched with one product as a test bed to see how people would like it, to see how the ingredient performed. And it's blown up. It's like wildfire all over the place. People love it.
Okay, so when you say it worked, what do you kind of mean it worked?
Yeah. So this is the gray area in cosmetics. So in cosmetics, a lot of brands make all these claims, but it's based on the ingredients themselves, not on the final product. When we created the ingredient, we did a whole bunch of testing to see what pathways it would hit, what activations it did in cells. But then we went to the next level and did a whole host of clinical trials. And it was on the clinical trial side where we actually had, 70-something participants, where we noticed significant changes in fine lines and wrinkles, age spots, plumpness, firmness, elasticity, all of those things that you want your skin to regain was phenomenal. Now, if your listeners are like, well, I go to stores and I see how many products, how can I differentiate?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I would say is see how many actually have clinical claims. A lot of the claims out there are just from subjective questionnaires. So it'd be like, do you like this product? Yes or no? Okay, yes. Does your skin feel more radiant or look more radiant? Yes or no? So it's its own questions that people get asked and they fill out these surveys. There's no real scientific backing behind it. We went, the other way where we did instrumental testing, we did like expert grading, we did AI analysis of photography to figure out if there really were measurable changes outside of just someone saying, oh yeah, I feel good. And it was phenomenal. It was unbelievable. It was so good we actually put them on our website.
Wait, the AI photography, like of a before and after of someone? How does that work?
So what you do is you take before and afters, and then you analyze like the wrinkle depth, the wrinkle length, the wrinkle size, and you can actually measure the changes in wrinkle size over time.
How much time?
You can do it in 1 day. You could do it 7 days. So when we did our studies, we did immediate, which is 15 minutes after application, 7 days, 14 days, and 28 days. And we saw amazing results after 7 days, and the testimonies and what people tell us from emails or phone calls, it's the same thing. So yeah, you can analyze all those things. You can sit in front of a piece of equipment that will tell you your sun damage, age spots, how many age spots you think are coming out. And then it can also accelerate your aging and guesstimate what you look like when you're 60, 70, 80.
No way.
Yeah.
Would like print out a picture of you? No.
You can get photos and email them to yourself. God. It's the craziest thing.
Can I come over and play? This sounds fun.
So I did it. And when I saw myself, I was like, oh my God, I look like my relatives.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, with or without the product being used?
So what it does is it looks at your current damage now, and then it estimates on typical, exposures. You can't like add preventative things in there.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, oh my God, I look like my grandfather. Oh my God, this is crazy. Oh my God, my wrinkles are in like the same spot.
Oh no.
But luckily,
yay.
yeah, I guess so. But luckily, we have technologies and products that hopefully, will prevent all that from happening. And that's like our main focus is prevention, protection, so that when you enter 50, 60 years old, you're not like, oh my God, what can I do to fix it? You're like, wow, I look pretty good.
Yeah. I want to kind of like tap back a little bit about your background, because you were studying this word that I think is, there's a couple of words I want to bring up. Extremophiles?
Yeah, extremophiles. That's a big one. That's my bread and butter.
So tell us about extremophiles, because I think of like when I think of that word, extraterrestrial, but
pretty close. No.
Ooh, really?
So
tell me more.
An extremophile is an organism that lives in a crazy environment. So this could be
that's like me in my household.
So I've gone to very cool places. Besides working with samples that come from the space station, I've gone 5,000 feet underground in abandoned gold mines to look for novel organisms. I've had samples from deep ocean, samples from the rainforest, samples from oil rigs, all environments where life is pushed to the boundaries. So an extremophile is an organism that lives and thrives in extreme conditions. And why that is so interesting for longevity, or in particular skincare, is because the mechanisms for which they use to survive can be directly applied to bio-optimize you. So you think about it, you have algae extracts, seaweed extracts, all these things. Those aren't really extremophiles, but they live in conditions and environments that foster these potential applications. Delavie goes to the next level, where we go to places where we know these properties have to exist in order for organisms to thrive. And then we tease out how they do it. We figure out how to do it. And we make the ingredients that are in our products. Okay,
so that is fascinating, because so kind of my history is way back when I was a fashion major, when, former life. And I had this roommate. Her family ran a very popular cosmetic company. I'm not going to name names, but it was very popular back in the day. And she would say it was so interesting because in the labs, people basically just come in and they just replicate other companies. Exactly. They just take the same ingredients and then they just kind of tweak them a little bit. And that's kind of how the cosmetic industry goes. So I think it's fascinating that you guys are A, super innovative, B, clinically, trialing these, and finding, what did you say? Like the hardest lived environments, the most extreme lived environments, and then therefore creating a product based upon that. And we get to use that because let's just say it, life is extreme.
Yeah.
It can be. And stress creates, extreme outcomes in the body. It shows on our face, My husband's a pilot and he's in radiation all the time. We fly a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been using the company. We haven't even named it. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Delavie
Sciences.
Delavie Sciences. I've been using it on myself for maybe a month and a half now. And I was like, is it just me? Am I just like glowing differently? But I have found differences, and you only use a tiny little bit, like it's like one drop. Yeah. And I'm like, how is this one drop? And I'm like, am I using enough? But a little bit goes a long way. And I just got back, I was telling you, I just got back from Indonesia. And typically in the past, I've gone out there and I feel like I've gotten like 3rd-degree burns everywhere. And I'm fine. Fine. I used it every day with a little bit of my facial sunscreen and I'm good.
Well, what's interesting is this ingredient was first developed as an SPF booster to actually enhance sunscreen and protect your cells from UVA, for example. So our ingredient blocks the formation of free radicals that form from UVA exposure. And UVA is what leads to fine lines and wrinkles. Mm-hmm. So you have that protection in there. You have blue light protection. You have the upregulation of DNA repair enzymes, the sirtuins, which are some of the key drivers for longevity. I mean, there's industries around just sirtuin activation, and this ingredient activates that. It also enhances your body's ability to make hyaluronic acid naturally. A lot of products, they have hyaluronic acid in them, but you hope that it absorbs and it actually works. This bio-optimizes your skin cells to make more naturally, which is why the plumping, the firmness, the elasticity is more profound. As you said, you're like, wow, I'm noticing it. Am I glowing different? What's funny is now we have a term for it. We call it the Aonia glow. Ooh. There are so many people who comment. They'll be like, I used your product. I was skeptical because I've used so many cosmetic products. But after like a week or two, I have people coming up to me saying, what are you doing differently? You just look different. And they're like, this is the first time I've ever had someone say that. And it's just from using, a serum.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. 2 words that I want to kind of break down for everyone, because I know people hear it a lot, is hyaluronic acid. Yeah. So why is that so important? I have discovered this product that has literally changed my life. I use it time and time again when basically I feel as though I need a little more oomph in my self-care routine. I'm talking Medicine Mama's Vulva Care. Guys, did you know that vulvas are a vital part of women's health? Yeah, they have been ignored for far too long. And Vulva Care creates the space and time for women of all ages to get in touch with every part of their bodies. Medicine Mama has done just that. They've created a line of vulva skincare products that are hormone-free, OBGYN approved, clinically tested, and have over 12,000 5-star reviews. Probably more by now. I use the Vulva Balm every single day, and let me tell you, it is so nourishing and luscious and doesn't disrupt my vaginal pH. Holla frickin' Luya, ladies. Try Medicine Mama for yourself and let me know what you think. Get 15% off all menopause, pregnancy, postpartum, grooming, and even sexual wellness products. You know what I'm talking about. You can use my code TOXICFREE15 at checkout. Again, that code for 15% off all purchases, use code TOXICFREE15. Guys, if you want to learn more, tune into Toxic Free with KB, episode number 282 with the Medicine Mama herself, Dr. Claire Bertuccio. Are you ready to elevate your skincare game? Meet Delavie Sciences, a revolutionary skincare brand blending cutting-edge science with natural ingredients to create products that truly deliver. With proprietary formulas like their award-winning Aonia line, Delavie Sciences harnesses the power of space-age technology and advanced research to target fine lines, wrinkles, and skin damage. I absolutely love this line so incredibly much, y'all. I use it daily and have noticed that my fine lines that were starting to form have been dramatically reduced in appearance. Yes, naturally. This is definitely a hooray moment for me. I also love that their products are dermatologically and clinically tested, as well as a toxin-free. Perfect for anyone embracing a healthier and toxic-free lifestyle. Guys, I don't approve everything, but this I definitely approve. By listening to Toxic Free with KB, you'll get exclusive access to, get this, 25% off all Delavie Science products by using code TOXIC-FREE, because your skin deserves science, not shortcuts. Once again, visit delaviesciences.com today and use code TOXIC-FREE for 25% off and experience the future of skin health. To hear more about this innovative skincare line, listen to my entire interview with one of the founders of Delavie Sciences, Dr. Kyle Landry.
Yeah, so hyaluronic acid is naturally part of your skin. It lives in something called the matrix. And the matrix is in your skin. It is comprised of all different components that make your skin look elastic, firm, beautiful, radiant. And as you age, whether it's from environmental exposure, lifestyle, or just aging in general, that matrix starts to deteriorate. Hyaluronic acid works by binding water. So when you put it on your skin, it goes in and it binds and attaches water, which is why it plumps and firms your skin. But because it's topically applied and it's not produced by the body, it fades away, right? It's not going to last a long time, which is why, after you use it, maybe at the end of the day, you kind of look not as plump, kind of the same as before. So hyaluronic acid is very important, but there's like a caveat to it. The amount of hyaluronic acid that is absorbed into your skin is questionable, because the bigger the molecule, the more water it binds, so it can plump your skin more, but the harder it is to actually be effective in the skin. The shorter the hyaluronic acid, the more effective it is, but the less water it binds. So by playing with a mixture of hyaluronic acids, you try to get the best of both worlds. But we went and said, why are we trying to add hyaluronic acid to your body? Why not just see if we can enhance your body's ability to make more? Because nothing's better than your own.
Yeah.
And that's what we did and what we found, which is why our clinical results blow, traditional hyaluronic acid products out of the water.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. And then the other word is sirtuins.
Sirtuins, yeah.
Like what?
So sirtuins are these very primitive enzymes, and we all have them. They were first discovered in yeast. And sirtuins are now linked to longevity because when they're activated or turned on, they help repair damage to our DNA. They help improve the efficacy and efficiency of your cells. So it kind of like jumpstarts them and resets them and makes them more effective. And there are a lot of things that activate sirtuins. Resveratrol has been found, NAD boosters, fasting, cold plunges, all things that people, try to do for the longevity side, activate these key enzymes. And there's a lot of research around it, a lot of publications around it. And it's definitely one of the main pillars in longevity research.
Okay, that's fascinating. Yeah. I didn't really realize that. So different extreme lifestyle aspects just kind of jump. And how some people, if they drink a lot of alcohol, they look tired or they look dry. That has a physiological impact on the skin, but it also suppresses a lot of these repair mechanisms or housekeeping enzymes that are shown to extend longevity. Same thing with high caloric diets, ultra processed foods. Your body is like, why do I have to be on defensive mode and be effective and efficient when I just get calories all the time that are easily to digest? Why do I have to try to maintain something? And when you start doing calorie restriction, you put stress on your body and your body's like, whoa, wait a minute. I have to actually optimize my metabolism and my metabolic processes so I can efficiently use the calories I'm getting. And that's why, one of the first things people say is when they start doing calorie restriction is after the first week or two of brain fog and drying, like, oh my God, I can't handle it. They're like, wow, I have a lot of energy. Wow, I sleep better. Wow. And that's why your body's becoming more efficient. Yeah. It just takes a while to kick it in.
Yeah.
But also I know as a nutritionist daughter that the longer that you fast for a long period of time, your body does go into that starvation mode and will hold on.
That's the thing. It's like, what is calorie restriction now? I think if we just maintain the USDA, recommended calorie intake of 2,000 calories, 2,100 calories, whatever, I think that would be considered calorie restriction for a lot of the population.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah.
So just doing what is recommended will, do wonders for you.
Because that would just be called portion control.
Exactly, right? I mean, like this morning I went and got breakfast and I asked for a yogurt bowl, and it comes out a massive mound. It had to be like 2.5 cups of yogurt, 3 cups of granola, all this stuff. I'm like, I just wanted like a little serving size.
I always ask for the child size, right? But since we are like really diving into the skin, I want to end the microbiome.
Oh yeah, it's a big one.
With that, I want to talk about the skin microbiome because I know there's a lot of questions that come up with that. Like, how does that affect, results like acne and stuff?
Yeah, that's
Tell
a
us
big
about
one.
that.
So the microbiome in general throughout your whole body is incredibly important, all the way down from your feet to your teeth to your skin. Everything you do impacts it. Where you travel impacts it. What you eat impacts it. In the skin microbiome, not a lot of consumers know about it. They hear these buzzwords. They understand, okay, there's good bacteria, there's bad bacteria. They have to be in balance. But an off-balance skin microbiome can lead to things like acne, oily skin, boils, dry skin, all these conditions. So how can you maintain that? One is to, just live a healthy lifestyle, eat good food, practice good hygiene. I should say that right away. I mean, a lot of people break out because they don't change their bed sheets for, 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Oh.
And they wonder why, why am I breaking out? I'm like, well, your pillow is full of oil from your face. You sweat a lot overnight. So that's a good thing. But a lot of cosmetic products don't take that into consideration. And there's a lot of studies now that show various cosmetic products actually affect the microbiome in a negative way. And this was an area where we have to actually look into it and see if we can improve it. And that's something we did. I strongly believe the gut microbiome and skin microbiome is like the first line of defense for a lot of things. And I want to make sure we develop products at Delavie that actually enhance that, which is why our products went through rigorous testing to be certified beneficial for your skin microbiome. And there's not many products out there that are heavy in longevity that really target that or can even claim to be beneficial. And, with my background in food microbiology and the gut and the brain-gut axis, now the skin-gut-brain axis, I was like, I want to make sure our products do that. So the skin microbiome, it's like, how can you even know? Well, if you use products that dry out your skin a lot or oily products and you break out, those are indications, right? So basically it's use and monitor, use and watch, and whatever works for you, you can be like, okay, that's a good way.
What is one product that dries out your skin?
My skin personally?
Just one's skin.
So SDS, sodium dodecyl sulfate or sodium lauryl sulfate, which is an ingredient that's in a lot of soaps, shampoos, stuff like that. A lot of cheap soaps, economy soaps, tend to dry out people's skin because it's so great at removing oil that it strips away like a protective barrier. So for me personally, if I use standard hotel soap, for example, I tend to become very, very dry right away. And it's almost like you can see it. I mean, if you use soap that can pull the oil away and you do it, you move your face and you're like, ooh, it's tight. It looks a little chalky. But yeah, so I try to stay away from products that are heavy in those detergents and kind of look for things that use other types of detergent.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't even think you were going to say that. So let's play a little game here with acne because I have teenagers and we talk about acne, especially my teenage girl. She's, it's like, how do I prevent acne and stuff? And of course I want to ramble down the gut microbiome, but we all know how hard it is to say, oh, well, don't do this, don't do that, because don't means do sometimes.
Yeah.
But let's talk about true or false with acne. I mean, they're pretty easy. But Kyle, true or false? Chocolate causes acne.
I would say false for that one. I mean, some people say that foods can trigger acne. And yes, if you eat a lot of oily foods and you have a lot of grease on your face and you eat a lot of foods that drive inflammation, that can lead to acne and irritation in the skin. But to say chocolate itself, if you have one piece, all of a sudden you break out, that is not a main driver there. But it's overall lifestyle choices that build up over time. So everything in moderation is what I say, whether it's chocolate, whether it's, the food you eat. I mean, it's so hard to, like you were saying, don't do this, don't do that. It's so hard to cold turkey something.
Right.
But if you start making little changes, then you'll get into a routine and it'll do that.
Definitely. We're all about little changes here.
Yeah.
Little changes make really big results. True or false? Toothpaste on pimples cures acne.
I don't know the answer to that. I've seen that. I've seen people use toothpaste, but sometimes you wonder what type of toothpaste they use. Do you have any experience with that?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, as a teenage girl, for some reason, we used to do it all the time.
And did it work?
I don't know.
Tells me.
I think you know what, to be honest, I think we thought it would dry it out. And I feel like maybe it did work, but then again, it goes back to the type of toothpaste. Back then, I probably used some pretty crappy toothpaste.
What were you using? I mean, I've seen people on TikTok say, oh, do this, do that. If you seriously have acne issues and it's really bad, where to the point, you should go seek a dermatologist and say, what can I do to use this? What treatments can I use? Some people don't like the prescription meds. They say they're too harsh.
They're so bad for you.
They're so bad.
Guys, please don't use that prescription med that starts with an A. It'll ruin you.
But sometimes at the same time, if the acne's so bad and you have no other chance, you have to just go by what your doctor says and give it a try. You can always go off it. I mean,
I know. It'll just mess up your hormones for a while.
Hormones are a main driver of acne, right? They really impact that. So I guess it depends what you want to go after, right? What your main thing is. I'm
a big believer, and we may think differently, but I'm a big believer that sometimes the long route is the best route.
Well, put in the effort to do things, to make the changes that will have a long impact, a healthy impact, a lifestyle change, right? And I think that is a good motto to have no matter what you do. I mean, no cosmetic product, skincare product, treatment, it's going to fix something right away instantly.
Yeah.
It has to be a combination of lifestyle changes that can start as simple as drinking an extra glass of water a day. Yeah. Like hydration is such a main driver of skin health. Most people don't realize they don't drink a lot of water, yet they go and spend a lot of money on products. And they're like, all you have to do is drink an extra glass or two a day. And
I know.
Yeah.
And water is water, not just like some sort of liquid beverage.
I mean, soda, stuff like that. I would say water. Stick with water. That's the best. I'm a big fan of fermented teas like kombucha and stuff like that. Because again, the gut microbiome, helping with leaky guts, helping with hormone balancing, all of that is very, very important.
I love it. And last, true or false, acne means your face is dirty.
No, that's not necessarily true, because hormones can drive a lot of things, especially sebum production. And it's the face oil that then can lead to clogged pores, that then lead to the accumulation of bacteria, that then leads to acne. And this is why, some people can use face wash every single day, multiple times a day, and they still have acne, because that's only one part of the equation, right? Now, of course, bad hygiene does drive acne, like I was talking about, 6-week-old bed sheets. But if it's not that, then, you just have to do the best you can. And if you have to seek out a doctor, go ahead.
I have 2 amazing fur pups. I've got Poppy and I've got Harley Girl. I'm just pretty much a dog freak. When I found Botanical Bones, I had to contact the owner and I had to ask oh my gosh, can I get some Cheetos for my pups? Of course. She sent a whole bundle my way, and my dogs are obsessed. So they have 3 specific formulas that I want to shout out, and they are based upon traditional Chinese medicine, which y'all know me, I'm a huge fan of that. So they've got Inner Glow, which has chaga, dandelion root, and ginger. They've got Flower Power, which is blueberries, red clover, and reishi. And they've also got Balance and Calm, which has ashwagandha, lemon balm, and hemp seeds. So, of course, you can pick your quote unquote pup's favorite type of flavor, but let me tell you, the dogs will love them all. And trust me, I have literally sniffed them myself, and I'm thinking about trying a handful or 2. I want to give you guys 10% off these amazing treats that your dogs will love and then will thank you for time and time again. 10% off using my code HONEST10, because we could all use a little more honesty in our diet, and I think our pups could too. So head on over to botanicalbones.com and use code HONEST10 for 10% off. Let me know what y'all think. I think one of the hardest things to incorporate change into our lifestyles is probably our cleaning products, because a lot of people think just because that smell is coming out, that means it's clean. But truly, y'all, you've heard me talk about this time and time again, that smell could actually be a toxin. So something that I've actually incorporated in our household, and I actually send the kits to all of my friends and family members as gifts time and time again, is Branch Basics products. Guys, Branch Basics never set out to sell soap. They truly are on a mission to help people create healthy homes and experience the power of pure. I am totally on this game as well. And someone that has been highly sold is our house cleaner. She has helped toss the toxins with me, and she uses Branch Basics for all of our cleaning necessities at our house. And let me tell you, we don't always live in a clean space. We've got 3 kids, 2 dogs, I've got a husband, so we've got a lot of things to clean up. 3 of the things that have really popped into my shopping cart lately are their new formula laundry detergent. Their toxic-free candle, because baby girl loves a good bath time and sitting by the candles at night when she enjoys her good veggie bowls. And also their hand soap. But 2 of the staples that I live by in our household, and trust me when I tell you I can use this for everything, even on my pups, is their Oxygen Boost and their Liquid Gold Concentrate. So guys, I'd like to help you get started on your cleaning by giving you 15% off all starter kits. And also, guys, this applies to their hand soap and their toxic-free candle, all the things. Not only will you get your starter kit, but you can get a whole bunch of other items to stock up on. Give the gift to yourself and use my code over at Branch Basics, which is Toxic-Free KB. Guys, again, if you want 15% off, use Toxic-Free KB. Yeah. Another story of mine is very interesting. I think you'll find very intriguing is, I'm 37 now. And so things have started to form. I love being in the sun. I'm in the sun a lot. I'm very active. And I started using this one product that was recommended to me, and it was said to reduce wrinkles and fine lines because baby girl does not want to go the Botox route. I know if anyone that uses it, you do. But so I started using it, and I still probably have the scars from it. I broke out right here and right here. Very big, very deep acne boulders, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, is it because I'm stressed? Is it because it was really humid this week? Because it's never happened to me before. And I was like, what is it, this product? I stopped using the product and it eventually went away.
Yeah.
But why is that a product that is supposed to be a cleaner product did that to me?
Yeah. So there are a few possibilities. The first one is comedogenic. So products can either be non-comedogenic or comedogenic. What does that mean? That means it plugs pores. And when pores gets plugged, or a pore gets plugged, bacteria builds up and you get a very, very deep blackhead type of boil, cyst, whatever on your face. Our products are non-comedogenic, which means they don't plug pores. Again, we make sure we test everything. But a lot of heavy, oily, rich products can have those pore blocking properties. And that's another thing consumers should look for. Is it non-comedogenic? That means it's been specifically tested on people to see if it plugs their pores. And if it doesn't plug their pores, then that's great. You want open pores. You don't want them to get plugged to cause that. The other thing that could either be an irritation or microbiome dysbiosis, which means unbalancing of your microbiome. And those three things tend to layer on top of one another because it doesn't have to be irritating to the point where you break out, like red or hives or something like that. It's just inflammation with a plugged pore and the wrong bacteria all together make the perfect storm for those type of things.
I love it. Okay, that's
I don't know if you love it, but
no, but I love that clarification because no, I did not love it. Oh gosh, no, I had to travel and shoot the next day. I was like, this is not happening. It was not good. Learning moment. So I have a question in regards to Delavie Sciences approach. How do you define toxic-free and why? When you define this, how does that set your products apart from the others?
Yeah, so toxic-free in cosmetics is an interesting thing. A lot of stores have their own clean standards, right? You have Target Clean, Sephora Clean, Ulta Clean, all these things. But there's no set standard in terms of clean. So when we develop products, we make the products as effective as possible while using the least amount of questionable ingredients. And I'll tell you an example. Phenoxyethanol, for example, is a hot topic. It's one where people say it's horrible. It causes all these problems, but at the same time, it's an amazing preservative for cosmetics. The issue is consumer understanding of the studies. So when you look at the studies where they show these ingredients have negative effects, they're using them 100 times, 1,000 times more concentrated than you would ever get in a product. And the consumers have to understand that. And you'll see that a lot, even with foods and stuff like that. They'll talk about a preservative or an artificial sweetener or something like that. And you look at the study that they're quoting, and it's like they're eating 500 grams per kilogram that they give to a rodent or something. And it's like you would have to drink 10,000 sodas in a sitting to get that. And I'm not saying, good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying understanding, the concept of, what is bad, what is clean, and what's needed. I mean, if we didn't have preservatives in cosmetics, imagine all the gross bacteria that be growing there from your fingers every time you put your hand in there, or all the stuff from your bathroom, right? And I'm sure people don't want to be putting gross, stinky pathogens on their face, right? So everything has a place. But when we make a product, like our serums, our eye creams, EWG, verified clean, our serums are natural, coral reef safe, cruelty-free by PETA and Leaping Bunny. So when we put an ingredient in there, it's there for a purpose, an intentional purpose, and we try to, make it as clean as possible. And our standard of clean is we don't want anything in there that's not needed, right?
Right.
And if there is any questionable components, we put them in as little as possible, or we remove them completely. And we've actually reformulated a few times because we wanted to remove some components, not because they were really red flags or anything, but just why are they in there? Do we need them in there? Why do we need to have a complicated ingredient list? I want it to be simple. People can look at it. If you go to our website and you go to ingredients for each product, you can click the thing that says learn more. And a widget pops up and you can look at every single ingredient and it tells you why it's in there and what it does.
Yeah.
So there's no question why is this crazy thing in there? And you'll be like, oh, that's an extract from an African plant and has these amazing properties. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is certified organic. Oh, this is great, right? We're very transparent with all of those things.
I love that. Transparency is key because I am a stickler. I mean, hence I'm toxic-free with baby. Yeah. I'm a stickler with what I put on my skin or in my body. And I want to know why, like, what's the purpose, like what its use, you know? And so when I pick up your product, I'm just saying, and I look at the ingredients, I'm like, I'm going to put it back down. But with your transparency and your clarification, like when we have been talking, I'm like, oh, well, why is this in there? You break it down scientifically, like why? And that it is in such a minuscule amount. I think that's key, you know?
It's very key. And, you know, we're incredibly transparent. All of our clinical studies are online. I actually was just putting together our human safety trials and putting them online because our Gentle Serum was clinically tested on, I think, 150 people who have diagnosed sensitive skin. And that is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I want to show people, like, out of 150 people who use this every day for 30-something days, there was nothing. There was no impact. You know, that's why our Gentle Serum is so special. And that transparency is hard to find in the cosmetic industry.
Yeah, I think like when it comes, especially these days, you know, safe and effective, safe and effective. Those are the two words that I'm looking for, safe and effective. So you guys are obviously doing research constantly with this and you're repositioning things and you've started out slowly, which I love. Yeah. Do you think you'll see any more like kind of crazy advancements from there? I know you're probably working on something.
Crazy advancements. So our Sculpting Cream just launched a week or two ago.
Love it.
It is a phenomenal product. It rebuilds your skin barrier. It works synergistically with the serum. Like it just amplifies everything. We have a sunscreen coming out next year as well.
Ooh, yay, please.
Very clean mineral sunscreen that is also longevity focused. So not only do you have the protection from the sun, but you have all of the benefits of our ingredients that repair damage from sun and really activate that. And then we're coming out with a face wash and a toner next year as well. And this also has patented proprietary ingredients from an extremophile, and it's phenomenal. It unplugs pores. It actually removes oil from your face just as well as SDS and sodium lauryl sulfate, the compounds I was talking about that irritate my skin.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that irritation. It removes it. It's amazing. Also tightens your skin, removes debris, and helps with smoothness. It actually helps the skin microbiome in balancing the good and bad bacteria in the pores. So that's coming out next year, face wash toner. That ingredient's called hydrolytic enzyme complex for people who are interested. But you'll start seeing stuff come out about that. Hydrolytic enzyme complex, or HEC.
I love it. There'll be a spelling bee contest at the end of the show. So misconceptions, because I know a lot of the times, especially like anywhere in the cosmetic industry, people think like, oh, it's not as effective. Again, going back to effective, if it's a toxic-free product, toxic-free skincare. So what are some misconceptions that people do have that you can kind of clarify?
Well, one, just because it's natural or it's claimed to be, toxic-free, what is a definition of toxin, right? Like there's no set definition or requirement. So a lot of that advertising is based on their own standards or something that they deem as clean. So the effectiveness, though, should be based on the overall package, not on one or two individual ingredients, right? Like it's very interesting that a lot of these toxic-free brands or products only highlight one ingredient, right? It's like, oh, toxic-free vitamin C serum. Well, vitamin C is in a bunch of things. So, and this is toxic-free, but we know what vitamin C does, but what does your whole product do? And there's very little testing sometimes from these brands on what their total product does. But I would say if it's toxic-free, don't be like, oh, it's not as effective. It's not questioning, if it has clinical data or it has some credible science backing it, then that's what you go from. But of course, the ultimate test is you, right? You're the ultimate test. If you use a product and you break out or you dry out, whatever, I don't care if it's toxic-free, vegan, organic, whatever, people still have reactions to things because your skin is your skin and no one knows it better than you. So you have to find things that work.
I love it. So when you jumped into Delavie Sciences and you were working with Mr. David Sinclair, a lot of people tell us about like why that's so like renowned to be like asked to be working with him and researching with him?
Yeah, so I was recruited to his lab because of my background in extremophiles. And again, I had no longevity background. I was working with bean sprouts and doing population genomics and nano delivery systems of antimicrobials, all this crazy stuff. What's amazing, all of that's relevant to longevity and cosmetics, believe it or not. But anyway, to be recruited there and to be exposed to a lab doing all of this longevity work really opened my eyes. And it opened my eyes in a way where I could see how my experience and things that I know with extremophiles and food can really dovetail with the longevity in a way that I felt was missing, because there's a lot of longevity gurus out there, but they don't really have like credentials or backgrounds. They kind of just mirror or talk about the science. And the fact that I was in the science, I was also in a field that directly related to consumers like food. So I understood. So I was like, this is an interesting place. So jumping into Delavie after making these discoveries on the ingredient was, I don't want to say scary. It was exciting. It was new, but it wasn't like so foreign where I was like, oh my God, I have no idea. I was like, okay, here's what consumers want. Here's the data we have from our ingredient and our products. These plug in there. Now let's just make a product and see how it goes. But yeah, working with longevity experts like David and a bunch of other people I've worked with was an amazing experience.
I love that. So what overall is your guys' vision? What is your mission?
Yeah.
Because I think that's like the heart of the brand.
Yeah.
And your branding's awesome, by the way.
The mission, and this is from my thought process, is to make or discover ingredients that work and then build products around them. We're making a line, let's force products into it. Like a lot of brands, they tag a celebrity onto it and then they find things to fit in there. We're like, let's do the science first. Let's see what works. Let's get it going. Like HEC, for example, we discovered this ingredient. We had amazing data. It's like, okay, what can this be used for? Oh, a face wash. This would be amazing because it preps the skin for Aonia, which has our other ingredient in there. So moving forward, it is building lines with intentionality. We will never have 400, 500 SKUs in Aonia. Aonia is going to end with the sunscreen next year. So it'll be the serums, the eye cream, the sculpting cream, and the sunscreen. The new line, which will have the face wash, toner, and maybe a mask, that will be it. That's intentional, right? And then we're creating a full body line with another cool ingredient we have.
I'm like,
and this ingredient, again, patented, is a novel protein that protects your skin from environmental stresses. So you were just talking about when you came in, how your skin's so dry, there's the wildfires, there's all these things. Well, this ingredient protects from urban dust pollution, from salinity. So if you go to the ocean all the time, you go to the ocean, your skin, it protects from salt damage. It protects from things that you get exposed to on a daily basis. So this is going to be more a general line that protects your overall skin from this. So that's another innovation. We have a pipeline of at least 4 other ingredients that target very key specific things. So I'm so excited about the potential. But
I'm so excited.
We were very intentional. We formulate, we make sure it's perfect, spot on, which is why we kind of roll out one product at a time.
I love this.
2 products at a time.
I love this. And you're like telling all these things. I'm like, can I be your lab rat?
Yeah. Well, come on over to the lab.
Will. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I would love nothing more. I'd be like, I'm ready. I'm here. I'll put my robe on. I'll be like, come on guys, let's go. Yeah. I'm just like imagining also like what my cosmetic bag is going to have to look like now when I travel. I'm like all the things, like literally it takes up half of my, not that I use a lot, but I use a lot of serums and a lot of oils and all the things.
All the things. And, if you find a product like a serum or eye cream or sculpting cream that works, we want to minimize, we want to free you from the 30 SKU baggage, right?
Yep.
We want to give you a routine with 3 or 4 products that does all the stuff you need. Because in the end, we have longevity products that target, aging, signs of aging. But I'm also pro-aging. We'll never stop aging. We can slow, but you'll always age. So why not make your skin the best it can be for you at this time, instead of trying to reverse it 20 years, which, it's not possible, but preventing damage and maintaining, the most bio-optimized skin possible will do wonders 10, 15 years down the road. You'll be like, wow, your skin looks so great. I'm sure you've seen people who are like 60, 70, like, oh my God, you look 40 years old. What did you do? And you listened to them. It was all about protection. It was all about prevention.
I will never forget when I was 18 years old, I was in Nordstrom in the dressing room and a woman helping me. I don't know where this came from, but she's like, oh, honey, you're beautiful or whatever. And she's like, always remember to put on like eye cream around your face or moisturize your face. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
And like the words still come back to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's sticking with me. But it's that prevention, right?
It's prevention, yeah.
That is so cool. I love that. Prevention over trying to like go back in time is always a good key lesson to have.
Even nutrition and diet, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, how do you prevent or minimize your chance of getting diabetes or all these other things 15, 20 years in the future? It starts now with what you do. But it's so hard because most people can't imagine what they're going to be like in 20 years, and they don't really see changes or feel changes right away. And it's true with skincare. I mean, young kids go out on the beach like, oh, I'm fine. They get burnt out. I'm fine. I'm young. Well, all of a sudden they're, late 30s, 40s. And they're like, wow, I'm getting a lot of age spots. What's going on? And it's like, well, did you wear sunscreen when you were doing that?
Yeah. Well, I was a pool rat when I was younger in the Midwest. And I was like a lizard. I would lay on the cement at the pool and just be like, wow.
On the cement? Not even with the blanket?
My suit was all like fuzzy in the end. It'd like peel up like a piece of Velcro.
Yeah, and then you have all the dots from the concrete in your skin.
Mom was like, you ruined your suit again. I'm like, oh, but it felt so good on the cement. Kansas summers. It's great. Good memories. Kyle, what trends do you see shaping the future of skincare and wellness?
Yeah, longevity is a big one, and prevention's a big one. I think fast cosmetics or fast skincare, where you see pop-up brands really quick, really cheap, that consumers are getting savvy to that, and they realize they want, like you said, quality and effectiveness over quantity and price, right? Why, you have to use 10 products at $10 a piece when you can buy one for one price and do it all. So I think the consumer is becoming very savvy. They're not falling for the same tricks that they were falling for, 10 plus years ago. They're not just relying on people's testimonies. They're looking for testimonies, reviews. They're looking for clinical data, and they're looking for their own experience and evidence. And that's very, very important. It's good and bad. It's bad for pre-existing brands because brands that have built their story and their marketing plans and whole image around, previous generations is going to have to quickly adapt. And they're going to have the science. They're going to have the clinical data. They're going to have the evidence of things they claim. And new brands have the daunting task of doing that. It is not easy doing all these tests, doing all these safety studies, all the clinical studies. And amazingly, it's not required, right? Like a lot of the things we do at Delavie, all the safety testing, all the clinical studies, that's not required. But we do it because we want to show and prove our products are effective. But you can have brands come out that don't have the resources to do that, and it may minimize their credibility with the new customers. So I think science-backed, longevity, and credible evidence is going to be the main trends and drivers for the next, I think the whole future, because people are becoming more wise to what they're putting in their body.
Yeah, definitely. I think people are becoming smarter. And I think, testimonials only go so far.
That's right.
I see them at the end of the page. And it's like, I love this product. I'm like, yeah, but is that their Aunt Judy? But really it's like me, like I am my own guinea pig in everything. I'm a 5-minute girl. I don't put a lot on my face, on my body. I have my rituals, my routines, yes. But I also want my money to stretch.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to make sure that little drop is going to go the full throttle, like we talked about. So I think that's a huge, huge kicker. And I think that's something that you guys have shown me as a consumer. I mean, I've purchased your products with my own money, and, you know, I really want to make sure that it's doing its justice. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm happy to hear that.
So let me ask you, what is your everyday non-negotiable?
In terms of what?
Anything in life.
Everyday non-negotiable.
There's got to be one.
I would say Pop-Tart just to get that face expression.
Ruffle
again,
my feathers.
But it's not the Pop-Tart. It's gonna sound cheesy, but I have 3 daughters, and
I was the youngest of 3 daughters.
Yeah, I have one that's going to be 6 on the 21st of December. Then I have a 2.5-year-old, and I have a 5-month-old. So I'm in the thick of it.
Here you are.
But every day I have to sit down and talk to them. Well, not the 5-month-old, obviously, but that's a non-negotiable. Even if I travel, I have to talk to them.
Good for you.
Whether before school, after school. And it's not just like, hey, how was it? It's like, oh, what's going on? Where you said, like, my daughter, oldest, just lost her first tooth yesterday. And she was at dance. She was doing acrobatic dance. And her tooth got really loose and they took it out. And she was so excited to show me, so excited for the tooth fairy. It was just awesome. And just those moments. So that's a non-negotiable on the personal side. Now for lifestyle side, I always take a vitamin. I take fish oil pills. I always have to have some fermented product every day, whether it's kefir, kombucha, Greek yogurt, sauerkraut, something. I always try to do that. And I try to get a large amount of protein, whether it is in a smoothie in the morning with whey protein powder or just, chicken breast, something like that. Like I'm very intentional. I want to have a lot of protein. I would say working out, but with 3 daughters and travel, it's very hard. But
you can still do it. I've got hacks.
I try to go 3 to 4 times a week, but before kids, I'd be a twice a dayer. And then, of course, everything changed after that. So now I'm just trying to, maintain. And
you know what? I have hacks for you.
Let me know.
Mini movements, mini workouts, guys. I've got hacks. Just,
What I need some hacks on the plane. I need some hacks on the plane.
I just took a 30-hour travel.
Yeah.
I was like, literally, I was doing all the things.
Aren't those the worst?
I was like, I was doing yoga in the back. I was walking laps around the cabin. I'm like, woo.
And people are like, who's that nut walking
I know.
around?
It's
going
me.
on? What's going on?
I'm the nut. I'm like, my legs are in the air.
Yeah.
I'm like stretching. My husband's just like,
yeah, he's passed out watching TV or something.
Yeah, I watched maybe one movie. I'm like, this is great. I'm a joy to travel with. But if you could recommend one toxic-free skincare habit everyone should adopt, what would it be?
Make sure you wash your face morning and night, specifically at night.
With what?
It could be as simple as soap and water. It's just something to remove what's been on your face. And obviously, if you wear makeup, you should remove it. But people who try not to wear makeup, sometimes they don't realize that the stuff builds up and accumulates on your face throughout the day. And then it can build up on the pillowcase, and then it's on the pillowcase and you're exposed to it all the time, especially if you live in urban environments. So I would say, a good face wash, no brand plugging here, but I love Cetaphil. Cetaphil is like a simple face wash that dermatologists recommend and use. We use that as a control in our clinical trials to prep the face before any treatments because we found it's the most gentle, least reactive. But just a simple face wash, soap and water or a face wash to really get it going, and then sunscreen. And that may not be toxic free for putting it on, but it's more prevention as minimizing damage from the sun, because sun is the main driver of skin aging and skin damage. So any prevention and then removing all the stuff, all the crud that builds up on your face is a great way to start.
Can I put this out there that one of my pet peeves, I think anyone that's using those makeup remover wipes, please stop using that because guess what? It's still in your pores. You're just wiping off your face with like
a wet rag. Yeah, you need something. So most people aren't going to like to hear this, but makeup is fat. It's literally fat because your face is full of oil. So when you put foundation on or color, it has to stick to your face, right? So there's a lot of lipids and basically oil and fat that go into makeup. So if you use just a water wipe or something that doesn't have detergent or suds like a face wash or toner, you're just like smearing it around. It's like a wet paper towel trying to pick up olive oil on the countertop. So to like what you're saying, there's no exfoliation, there's no removal of that from the pores. So that's why I was saying a face wash or even soap is so much better than just like
hot
water soap or the clean water wipes. I'm not a fan of those wipes.
No bueno. Don't like it. I have my soap that I've been going to forever, and I'm not paid by them, but Dr. Bronner's sugar soap.
I've never used
I'm telling you, real good. And
Does it have sugar in it to exfoliate?
Yeah, it's like a tiny, tiny, tiny little. It's very minuscule, but it's almost like putting like maple syrup on your face. It's really nice. You're probably what's going on?
That's a new trend, maple syrup on the face. We're just going
to... and just peel it off, right? Like an enzyme mask. Guys, I am like a little like creator of concoctions in my household. So like just be a fly on my wall. You'll love it. Trust me. And then okay, actually, I have another question for you before we end the show. Toxic-free, just general habit besides skincare. What is one simple, easy, toxic-free habit we can all start practicing?
Drink a lot of water. Water flushes out toxins in your body. Now, people are always like, I'm worried about what the toxins I put into my body. Well, how do you get them out? You're always going to have toxins in your body from the food you eat, from even cooking food creates toxins, right?
Yeah.
So you can't get away from it. So you should worry about what you're putting in, but also how do you get it out? And the way to do that is hydrate. So you're always flushing your system over and over and over again to get rid of those things. So drinking water is a great thing, and then sleep. Stress, cortisone levels, all that thing. You need to reset your brain. Sleep is so important. I mean, my wife has a hard time sleeping. I feel so bad. She wakes up the minute there's like a cricket or just a small, like I can like move my toe and she's up. What happened? What happened? And, that stuff can just accumulate over time, over and over. But trying to get sleep, trying to rest, some type of downtime to reset your brain, both physically and, your mental health energy at the same time, that somehow suppresses inflammation in the body. That in itself will do a lot on top of drinking a lot of water.
So as a wife, as a stepmom, let me just tell you, your wife is a mother now. She's a lot to think about. Something that you could help her with is say like, honey, at the end of the day, honey, you do what needs to fill you up right now, whether it's a bath, whether she needs to go to a yoga class, take a walk, have her be able to decompress by herself for 30 minutes to an hour. That might help.
I know. I think if those words came out of my mouth, she'd be like, what? What's going on?
Just say Toxic-Free with KB.
I'll be like, yeah. I just spoke to Toxic-Free KB and she said I should say this.
But for real, anyone out there, anyone with a partner, anyone like seriously, even do it for yourself. Remember that those like simple hygiene tasks for yourself at the end of the day to get out of this sympathetic and get into the parasympathetic is such a key. Turn down the lights, turn on soft music.
Yeah,
make a cup of tea.
It's so easy to forget that with kids. I mean,
it is.
It's like you're go. You're always focused on them. And then at the end of the day, you're both burnt out. And it's like, oh, you got to clean up the playroom. Oh, you got to do lunch. Oh, you got to pack their bags. So then you put them to bed. Then you got to do all this other stuff. And there's very little like decompression time. So I guess
build it in.
Somehow build it in. And
somehow you're in the thick of it. I get it. But like, longevity. We're talking about longevity here.
I know. I'm surprised I still have hair. Never mind.
We'll see. You probably come from good genes. Where can all of our listeners follow you?
Yeah. So at Kyle Landry, PhD on Instagram. I'm also on LinkedIn if anyone cares for the professional networks. But DelavieSciences.com is the main place to go to get access to our products, to read the clinical trials, to actually download and look at the reports, look at the certifications, and to see all the reviews, comments, testimonies are there. You can just go there and look.
Yeah. And I have to say.
Oh, and at Delavie Sciences, I also forgot.
Delavie Sciences. We'll have everything in the show notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the products are actually shown here. I use them all. Seriously, guys, I'm telling you, I will not promote anything that I do not use personally. And I will not vet anything that I don't personally stand behind. I actually really, really enjoy these products. I like to use them every single day. I have got my husband using them. My husband actually uses the sensitive serum.
Yeah, which is this one right here.
Yeah, because we trialed the regular one on him and his face turned red. And so I was like, oh, try the sensitive one. And so that's better for him. I actually titrate between both of them. But again, I've seen changes in my skin and I didn't know if it was me. And I was like, maybe I'm just glowing all of a sudden.
Something just happened.
Something happened. But guys, I'm going to give you exclusively for Toxic-Free with KB listeners 25% off using code Toxic-Free at checkout. So that's a little gift to you. So
that's right.
Go to Delavie Sciences, use Toxic-Free and you'll get 25% off. We love it. Thank you, Kyle, so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome back anytime. All the products.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. You know what time it is? It's time for hot habits. My hot habit for the week is micro workouts. So what is that? Micro workouts are bite-sized, low-intensity workouts. So this makes it easier to squeeze in that movement throughout the day. Micro workouts. So whether that is a morning dance, a quick set of push-ups and squats before lunch, or rolling out your yoga mat before bedtime. Remember, guys, small actions add up to big results. And now time for our trendy trends. Okay, so something I've been kind of inkling about is this whole topic about sleep syncing. Okay, what is that? What is sleep syncing? It's adjusting sleep cycles to the rhythms of nature, the sun or the moon, basically aligning your circadian rhythm once again. So studies have shown that this can help people fall asleep quicker and also reduce the feelings of stress and anxiety overall. So by simply going to bed and waking up at the same time every single day, no matter if it's the weekend, you can start sleep syncing today. All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. As always, I appreciate y'all. And remember, you're doing your best and your best is great. See you next time. Thanks for watching Toxic-Free with KB. Please subscribe to the show, comment below, and check us out on Instagram at toxicfree.kb and TikTok at Toxic-Free with KB. See you next time. This is a Kilo Bravo Media production brought to you by Rainbow Creative.